Hello all, and welcome to another episode of the Market Pulse presented by Smart Touch. I am your host, Aaron Fichera, and today we have a special guest with us, Anita Erickson, the founder and CEO of the Market Place ATX. Anita, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So for those that don't know, the Market Place ATX is an absolute breathtaking showroom. It is a to-the-trade showroom located off of Anderson Lane, over 10,000 square feet of some of the most high-end prestige design, really just incredible products for both designers and custom home builders and just builders in general. So Anita, this is a treat to not only get to talk about you, your background, the Marketplace ATX, but something that you are passionate about and that really Marketplace ATX promotes is that word of mouth marketing strategies.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So I'm going to look forward to, I know the marketers that are on the call or on the audience want to hear more about word of mouth because, you could do digital, you could do branding, you could do everything, but there's no better client than someone that's speaking your praises and referring you.
Absolutely. I agree.
So before we jump into there, Anita, tell us about yourself. How'd you get involved in the industry?
Well, I've been in marketing for almost all of my career. I've been radio, did print, did work to tell, like you've got to check it off the list.
Yep.
But I had always been interested in design and never turned it into a career. But about 10 years ago, I decided that it was time to do something for myself, get out of the corporate world. And so I started a website called Red Chair Market, which was a precursor to Cherish, some of you may know, which is a peer-to-peer furniture marketplace. Basically, back about 10 years ago, all of us kind of looked up and said, wow, Craigslist is an amazing business model. Let's do that. And so mine was high-end furniture where locally you could list your beautiful pieces and sell them to somebody locally without the creepy Craigslist experience. So got into the industry that way, met a lot of designers and architects, and really just sort of fell in love with the industry. And so ended up starting a co-working space that was specifically dedicated to the design industry. And fast forward several years, realized that the revenue opportunity was really with the products. And so the marketplace really is sort of a co-working space for products, but it also brings in kind of the workspace as well. We've got a couple of people that actually work out of the space here and really collaborative, kind of a hub for the design community.
Wonderful. Well, you know, for those that are listening there, we do have several builders, especially custom home and luxury builders, as well as designers. What kind of products or what would they expect if they came into the showroom?
So we really work to bring in both new products to the market and products that you want and need to select and try to create a place where you can do multiple things at once. One of our flagship partners is Bentwood Luxury Kitchens. This is their first presence in the Austin market, and they're doing great. They have a beautiful product. We've got Tri-Supply that's got multiple lines of products. We've got a Brazilian furniture maker. We've got a couple of local artisans here. So we're always looking for things that are new and unique so that we can bring these products to the designers and the builders and the architects to help them raise up their products or their projects.
Excellent. Well, I know it's kind of cliche that we're coming on the heels of COVID, but, you really don't see that many areas, especially for designers and custom home builders, to be haptic and touching material and working with these type of vendors. Has this concept, I know something similar maybe up in Dallas in the design center, but, what's kind of the inception or the aim for the marketplace? Is there any similar concepts around the area or different markets?
Yeah, there are definitely other trade showrooms in the area, and we are very supportive of, we can use all the products we can get. So we love to work with other showrooms. We're a little different in that we offer our vendors a space that they don't have to staff. So we don't actually sell product. We are evangelists for our products, and each individual brand will come in and create their display. And then we just help by bringing in awareness. We're, like I said, kind of evangelists for the products and really just want to help them grow their business.
Excellent. Excellent. What's some of your favorite products you get to play with in there?
Well, Oh, that's a little dangerous. I can't play favorites. All I can tell you is that when I go home, my house is not okay. We have so many beautiful things here that I am constantly redecorating my kitchen. I'm redecorating my living room. We just have some really interesting, unique things, and we're working to bring in a lot more things that aren't available other places in Austin, that are, national, global products. And we're always open to suggestions. So if your listeners want to make some suggestions, please have them reach out.
Well, guys, if not, I would highly recommend, because I've had the pleasure of walking around the showroom, and meeting some of the owners and vendors and craftsmen, and I mean, it's a great scene. It's just everyone's enthusiastic. They love what they're doing. They're passionate, and it's all interconnected with designers and builders. So, and one thing that's a claim to fame for that is the crux of today's conversation, which is WOM, which doesn't mean anything, but word of mouth.
Hmm.
Word of mouth is the most effective forms of promotion. So why do you feel word of mouth marketing strategy is so powerful, or should be not a second thought in the strategy?
It should really be your first thought. And part of that is as they say in the PR world, you can other people can brag about you a lot better than you can brag about yourself. So a referral is much more credible if it comes, or a brag is much more credible if it comes from somebody else than if it comes from you. So getting people who have had experience with you to talk about you is always going to be received more positively than you talking about yourself. And second, actually, second and third, second is it can be less expensive. You're not actually buying media, which, is important but can get expensive. The caveat to that, the third part, is that it is critical that you have a great experience. And so phase one really has to be going through and figuring out if you truly do give your clients a great experience, and fixing some of those problems can be a little bit expensive, which is where sometimes some costs can come in.
Well, in your opinion, what are some of those key factors that contribute to generating that positive word of mouth, for the brand or the builder, the product?
It's people will make word of mouth recommendations when they've had an exceptional experience or when they've had a terrible experience. A medium experience doesn't do anything. They'll just sit there and be kind of happy. They won't tell anybody. They won't, fill out a Google referral. It has to be exceptional or terrible. So let's just assume that nobody here is providing a terrible experience. But if they're not doing something to go above and beyond and creating a really unusually great experience, they're not going to get people to talk about them either.
Well, so it seems like when we read Google reviews, we should probably take it with a grain of salt, because people are either
Absolutely.
going to be highly negative or highly motivated by positivity that drives them.
Yes, absolutely. So it's usually, I mean, it is. There's sort of trends in one way or another, and a lot of people do take them seriously, but I don't know that they should. The best thing to do is to reach out to some of those vendors, customers, if you can find them, and get the real scoop.
Well, for our audience, primarily looking to attract homeowners as well as home buyers, what strategies would you recommend for encouraging, this type of client or customer to refer business to their friends and family?
Well, the first thing, and not to be repetitive, but is get your house in order. So make sure that you really do have a product and a service that is referral worthy. So assuming that, the next step is just literally ask. I think people forget just to ask. You can ask verbally. You can follow up with an email. People do, and Google really takes those Google reviews seriously. So it's
Mm.
great for your SEO. Ask people to give you a Google review, a Facebook review, whatever. But phase two is really asking, and a lot of people just don't think about that. They make it complicated, and that's, if you're not asking, you're certainly not going to get anything. Got a couple of other, just double checking my notes here on reminders.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, ask in person and reiterate in writing. But one of the best ways to get somebody to refer you is to make them the hero.
Hmm.
So let them know that working with them was a pleasure, that this job was as much of a joy for you as it was for them, and that you'd love to find more clients like them to work with. And so in that way, you make your client the hero. They get to go out and feel like, wow, these people loved me so much. I'm so great. And I had this great experience. I want my friends to have this great experience too. So if you could find ways to do that, I mean, some examples that I put up are, helping you solve this problem it really gave me some insights. And I would love to solve this problem for other people. Do you know other people who have this particular problem? Or again, this was just such a joy to work with you. I'd love to work with some of your friends. Do you have any other folks that you think I would work well with? And that makes them
Yeah.
the hero. It makes them feel great about referring you.
Well, you kind of jumped ahead because, it seems like the big hurdle is the ask because
Hmm.
you don't want to come off as, schmaltzy or pushy or trying to become
Hmm.
off salesy. So, you gave some great examples, but what's some things that us marketers can do, or just business owners in general? It doesn't have to necessarily have to have a built out marketing department, but what can they do to overcome this kind of um, hurdle for the ask?
Of feeling schmaltzy. Well, and I admit I feel that way too. Know that all the successful people that do it and that they
Well,
figured out how to get over it. So just get over it. Um, that's
yeah,
conversation with myself a lot. Um, and being genuine, you don't
yeah.
have to say it in the perfect way. You don't, just say, you might stumble around a little bit, but I really did. This was such a great project, and I'm really looking to build my business. It would mean a lot to me if you had a great experience to refer me. Is it okay if I follow up? I mean, you don't have to be super slick and cool. Be a real person asking another real person for help. People love to help.
That's true. Well, all right. Let's play a little shadow play here. I've just finished a great project with you, Anita. How would you approach me on a word of mouth strategy?
You've just finished one for me, or I've finished one for you.
Uh, I'm sorry, you finished one for me
Okay.
because I haven't even learned the strategy yet. So
All right. So, Aaron, we're wrapping up. I'm excited. I'm going to send you the last invoice. Actually, it's best if you ask for this after they've paid the last invoice.
after they say the invoice, you do want that.
And you've finished most of your punch list. Important. So if
That
there's
is,
things hanging out there, don't ask yet.
I
So,
love how a
Aaron,
lingering punch list can definitely leave a sour taste in your mouth. Doesn't matter if
yeah,
it's commercial, residential.
yeah.
That's always
So
the hiccup point.
after you have completed the punch list, hey, Aaron, final touch of paint is up there. How do you feel about the project?
I feel great. Feel
And
great.
and
Thank you.
you had a good experience with my team?
I did. Punch list went smooth. Everything looks great. I feel at home.
Wonderful. Well, I'm speaking for my team too. We had a really great time working with you. Not all customers are easy, but it was really a joy to work with you and your family. And we are building our business. We're small business people too, and we would love to work with more people like you. Would you be willing to refer us to some friends who have similar needs as you?
Yeah, of course.
That would be wonderful. I really appreciate, I know we're all in this together building our businesses, and I'd love to refer you anytime too. Is it okay if I follow up with an email and give you some specific suggestions on how you can do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me know and I'll pass it around.
That would be wonderful. And please let me know if I can help you at all too.
All right. You got my review. Very good. I'm gonna refer. Let me grab my phone. No, because as you were saying that, I was wondering. I was like, okay, is she just gonna leave me hanging here? And then, but no, I really liked at the end. You kind of gave specifics on saying, hey, I'm gonna follow up. And I know you put that in your second point, but how
Hmm.
important is that follow-up and kind of that written confirmation? Is it just,
Critical.
don't leave? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, anybody who's ever done sales, the follow up is really where the magic is. You follow up, sit down with a professional, sit down with your ad guy, sit down with somebody who's good at it, write up an email and just reiterate the thanks. It's also great to be kind of specific about the types of referrals you're looking for. Aaron, I would love to work with more families like yours in this neighborhood who are looking to redo a kitchen. This is our sweet spot. As you know, we do a great job in, this sort of high-end kitchen remodel where there's some, challenges and creativity needed. And so anytime you can think of anybody who would be a great fit, please let me know. Here's my email address. Here's how you can do Google reviews, whatever your media reviews are. Um, you can also leave them with postcards
Right.
to hand out to their friends and family. So, hand them a couple postcards that have your name and the, QR code or something on it. And for a little while, they may leave them on the front console table or she'll leave them in her purse. And, having something physical to hand out always helps.
Would you also recommend having them as a referral source to introduce to current clients or prospects? Like, you're
Absolutely.
saying, hey, here's some former clients, give them a call, or here's, someone that's we built a house for, give them a call and they can talk through the experience.
Yep, that's a great suggestion. And, obviously ask if that's okay. So in your either verbal or follow up, say, I'd love to be able to use you on our client list. Um, and again, being somewhat specific, you have to be a little more careful here, but say, here are a couple of things that I thought went really great on this project. If you wanted to touch on these, that would be great, but please use your own words.
Okay. So kind of fill in the blanks for,
Yeah,
the
people a
word
lot
up.
of times don't refer because they want to, but they don't know exactly what to say, and then time passes and then it's gone. So
Yeah.
the more words you can put in their mouth while also being very clear that they're welcome to use their own words is great.
Yeah. Just skillful guidance.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I mean, this is all great. What advice would you give marketers, specifically those in the real estate and the home service industries, how to kind of build a word of mouth marketing strategy from the ground up? Is this something by intentional design? Is this something that you would couple with um, others? I know you said, kind of better at the end of the cycle. Is it worth going back to previous clients?
Absolutely. There's no reason not to. Um, Sometimes it's just great reason, and again, be really honest. I'm building my business. I'm reaching back out, to talk to some of our great clients and um, to answer your, how to get started, not to beat a dead horse, but make sure you're, referral worthy. Maybe even do some, maybe reach out to those old clients or recent clients and do a little interview. Find out what went well, what they would refer you for, and what they maybe wouldn't. And make sure that you've got all that information and that you really are, refer worthy. And then build a process, make sure that your whole team knows to ask, make sure your whole team has a template to follow up. And then, build those postcards, um, but then keep in touch. Maybe sometimes you throw a client party, client happy hour, just to
No.
remind them a year later that they're still important to you. And, maybe they didn't have anybody to refer at the time, but now they do. Another thing I've occasionally seen is, on a big project that was really impactful, offer to throw a housewarming party or a remodel party. I've even suggested throw a closet warming party. If you've done a fabulous job, I've got a friend who does custom closets. Throw a closet warming party, and it can be, small to large, but if you're building a $10 million house and you're really proud of it and you want to know those people's friends, A couple $1,000s on a party really is probably a drop in the bucket.
That's an excellent idea. Well,
And, oh, the other thing,
yeah,
one
yeah.
last, yard signs. Builders are
Yard
great at
signs.
it. Architects are sometimes good at it. Designers rarely do it. Closet people rarely do it. Always ask if you can have a yard sign and put it out there.
I didn't know there was a whole section called closet people. That's
There are closet people. There's one here right now, my friend.
really
Yep.
okay. Well,
Yeah, I guess
yeah,
it kind of sounds weird when you say it that way.
no, no, no. I
Think
mean,
about that.
no, there's kitchen people, closet people,
There are
pool
closet people.
people. There's pool
There are
people.
pool people, window
Yeah,
people, drapery people. A lot of people.
there's a lot of people. It,
Yep,
it takes a lot of people to build a house. Well,
exactly.
why are yard signs so effective? I mean, it kind of almost seems very not old school or outdated, but I mean, it's still relevant.
Absolutely. I mean, you drive by your neighbor's house and you see something exciting going on.
Hmm.
You want to know. I mean, realtors have known this for years. Um,
Yeah.
and builders know it. Builders always have their signs out there. Not always the remodelers, not always the small projects, but builders always know that. Of course, you walking your dog. Oh, well, the Joneses are getting their kitchen redone.
Oh, gotcha.
I want to get my kitchen redone too. I know the Joneses have great taste. I'm going to call their person. I'm going to go up and knock on the door and ask how their experience is. There is no reason, and it's cheap. And every person that drives by sees your sign.
That's excellent. That's a great connection. Well,
Easy one.
and kind of on the flip side too, maybe you have those that are listening have a marketing team or, realtors, brokers, even owners themselves. How do you get over, what advice would you give these individuals to get over that hesitation to ask? You kind of talked about through your experience, but I mean, is it something you have to get over or is it something, you have to kind of push yourself and just
You have to,
self-talk?
a lot of it is self-talk, but a lot of it is just remembering that you can be genuine. I also actually do a whole session on how to not hate networking. And so they're very similar
I
skills.
Okay. No, no, no. I mean, I know this is for a whole nother episode, but
Yeah,
from
but
someone that has to, I enjoy networking once I'm in there and doing it, but it does take a little bit of energy and maybe a little
sometimes,
bit of liquid confidence. But
yep, yep.
you know
And
what?
sometimes you're good. So it is self-talk, but just like with networking, asking for a referral is just about being genuine. You know, you're a person that had a great experience with a client. You're doing, you're helping them do a favor to their neighbor because you're going to do a great job to their neighbor. And you have to keep that kind of positivity in mind and just be genuine. Say, I'm building my business and I had a great time working with you and I'd love to work with others, and um, it can be as simple as that, but you do have to, put your hat on sometimes and
Put
remind
yourself
yourself
out there.
this is a lot cheaper than, taking out a TV, a
Yeah.
TV.
Well, and
Not that
what's the
there isn't a
worst?
place for that, but
Well, it does sound like too, there needs to be a little bit of, you can't go in with rose-colored glasses and be open to feedback because, you know,
absolutely. Absolutely, because they absolutely will come back and bring up some stuff that maybe you didn't think about. But, there's also people actually like people who with whom they've had a little bit of conflict and gotten through it. They like those people more than the people who are just perfect, easy peasy from the beginning.
huh.
So
Why do
solving
you
a
think that?
problem for somebody is more powerful than just being perfect.
But shouldn't
Now, I'm
just,
not saying screw up somewhere so that you can have a
yeah,
problem.
that's what I was gonna say. It seems like should I, cause a fire and then,
Then
put
put
it
it out
out,
like
then
you're a
yeah,
hero.
that'd be the hero. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, let's not do that. But just be aware that it's really all about how you solve the problem, not about the fact that there was. I mean, again, depending, did you burn their house down? Okay, fine. That's hard to get over. But rational people will know that problems come up, and if you address them quickly and well and honestly, that actually raises your credibility in their eyes more than just doing a pretty good job kind of all the way through.
So it sounds like for those that are in marketing sales, especially as in the builders, developers, even home services, your most effective is not to just come out and look for the end game of selling something, but solving a problem.
Absolutely. Yep. That is always the best way. And that feels more real anyway. That gets you out of the weird, I'm, a slick salesperson and getting you into a relationship.
Excellent. No, it's all about relationships. Well,
Absolutely. Especially in
for
this
the
industry.
well, that kind of gets into my next point is, what advice would you give young professionals, looking to get into the real estate or even the design industry like yourself?
I I've had a lot of careers, all generally in the marketing world, but I spent a lot of time finding people that I thought were cool in the industry and asking them to coffee. Asking them if they would, talk to me for 15 minutes on the phone, 5 minutes on the phone, and just start to do some research with humans that are doing those things and find out what they say. Because in some cases, you may find that you don't want to do. It turned out I learned that being an interior designer is not all shopping. It is actually a lot of hard work and things go wrong a lot. And you end up with paint on your all over your clothes.
It's
And
not just open up a catalog and saying, yes, here,
yeah,
this.
oh, that's pretty.
Yeah,
Um, and so, and those people, if you have a great experience, will often introduce you to new people that you can learn from. And then, best case scenario, they give you a job or they help you get into school if you need it or whatever. But people love to talk about their experiences. And generally, I find people are so open to helping other people that I think just, again, coming to somebody genuinely and saying, I think what you do is cool. Can I buy you coffee? Um, you'll be surprised at the number of times people will say yes.
yeah. No, I definitely feel that, especially the network. Even coming to the marketplace and talking to builders, and even window and kitchen suppliers that they're just enthusiastic and there's just so
Hmm.
many people and so many layers and um, we're all in this together.
Absolutely. And that's something we really focus on and try to cultivate here is bringing people together who are enthusiastic, who are having fun and enjoy what they do and are positive and want to help others. I think that surrounding yourself by that kind of energy really lifts everybody up.
Definitely. Well, Anita, I know we're kind of coming here to the tail end of our episode. And if there's any listeners out there that want to come and walk through the marketplace ATX or uh, learn more, what can they do?
Sure. Well, we are to the trade. So if you're a designer, architect, builder, please come and see us. Our contact information and address is on our website, www.themarketplaceatx.com. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time. My information's there. And if you're not in the trade, go grab your designer, go grab your architect and ask them to bring you in. We'd love to see you.
Sure. Anita, uh, thank you for joining us today and providing some
Absolutely.
kind of common sense, down to earth marketing strategies around word of mouth.
Thank
People
you.
forget it's all about people. We have all these tools and shiny things that serve a purpose, but you know, at the end of the day, it's about people.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, Anita, thank you.
Thank you so much, Aaron. This was a pleasure.
And thank you all for joining us on the Market Pulse presented by Smart Touch. We'll see you next time.